Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Great to be back with you here today, episode 2396 of the Cabral Concept. You can actually head on over and see the questions we will be answering today on this house call at stephencabral.com/2396. stephencabral.com/2396. Just opening up the document right now. I'm sure we have 6 amazing questions that we will tackle here today. Hopefully you tuned into yesterday's show. If not, you can do so by heading on over right now, or I should say after the show, to 2395. All right, let's get into today's show. And the first question, so basically if you're new to the show though, I answer 6 community questions on Saturday and another 6 on Sunday. It takes about 12 weeks to get your question answered now that we have so many questions coming in on a daily basis. But you can get your question answered always for free at cabralsupportgroup.com. And that works as well. And you basically get same-day answers too. The other way is I would always go to stephencabral.com/podcast and actually just type in your search term. I see on the first question, it says hip flexor, something about a hip flexor. Okay, I would type in hip flexor. I would type in psoas. The next one is talking about depression. I would type in depression. So you can do those different searches right in the search box and find all my previous shows, previous to 2396, on all of these different topics. All right, let's get started. First one is from Erin. Erin says, right-sided issues only. So after my second child, I started having weird symptoms, issues in all of my right side only, like the arch of my right foot, super tight right hip flexor, right shoulder, rain, and even my sinuses feel worse on the right side. Why is it all on the right side only? I'm working with an integrative health practitioner, but just wanted your opinion. I've done a minerals and metals test so far, and I did have some low minerals. Thanks so much. Okay. So the first thing we always look at is if everything is on the right side, from kind of putting on my personal trainer and postural analysis hat, is we want to make sure that, hey, during your pregnancy, that you didn't kind of favor one side, like favoring your left, and so putting more weight on your right. Believe it or not, most people put 60 to 70% of their weight or more on one side. So when they stand, kind of catch yourself. Are you shifting most of the weight to your right or your left side? Because you may have locked up the lower back, sacrum, coccyx-spaced area so basically if you look at your core, your psoas is still part of the core, that's in the front, and your TFL, that's on the side. So we're talking about extensors and flexors, right? And the glutes, it may be tight, right? Your posture may literally be off. I think I did this on yesterday's show, but I can't remember. So you'd actually want a plumb line. I've got my buddy Walter here if you're watching this on video. Your ear, your shoulder, your hip, your knee, your ankle should all be in alignment. So you definitely want to work with someone on postural analysis. Oftentimes a chiropractor that does active release technique, not necessarily adjusting you, but actually working on soft tissue and looking at your posture could help. A NASM certified personal trainer could often help, or a functional range conditioning specialist can typically help with this as well. So I would look at that, and certainly, like, you could work on that. All right. So the next thing is, and you'd work on it by doing some posterior chain work and some core work, and then opening up like hip flexors if they're tight, etc. All right. The other thing is looking at to see if there's an issue that's going on with the liver, because sometimes the liver, when it's, we'll say, congested, is not able to, or I should say there's more tightness and there's more pain on the right side. It's referred pain. It's called referred pain. Not as common when it goes all the way down to the foot. That's kind of like maybe even like sciatic inflammation too, but not all the way to the foot. Sounds like there's a good amount of inflammation, some postural or biomechanical based issues here. So that's where I'd search first. If you haven't done a 21-day functional medicine detox, I would do that. You can find it at stephencabral.com/detox. And then I would look at the alignment. All right. And that's a great first place to start, or two places to start. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Quick question about tobacco and nicotine use and its relation to depression. I've been using tobacco pouches for 10 years now. Every time I try to quit, I find myself in deep depression. My first attempt at quitting resulted in a prescription for an SSRI, which I remain on to this day. What are the effects of tobacco and nicotine on the brain, and is it possible to quit after this many years? Are there any supplements that would help in this process? Thank you so much for all you do. Yeah, absolutely. And this is I'm glad that you bring this up. And the reason why I'm glad you bring it up is because a lot of people are just like, why don't you just quit? Why don't you just quit? Just quit. It's not healthy for you, this, that, and the other thing. Well, here's the thing. Those things are providing chemicals to your body that make you feel better. Alcohol does the same for a lot of people. So a lot of people like, oh, that person's an alcoholic, this, that, or the other thing. I've talked about this before. There are many books written on this. Alcohol is one, but tobacco is one that's even more common for producing dopamine. All right. It also helps and can help with norepinephrine production and other neurotransmitters as well. It can help with sometimes acetylcholine, and it also helps to reduce anxiety, right? So that's the reason why. So now, can you get natural dopamine on your own? Yes. Some people produce more of it than others, but yes, you can do that. So what you may want to do is run a lab. Well, there's two labs you could run. One's the Candida Metabolic and Vitamins test that looks at gut and neurometabolites. It's if you can only do one lab, I mean, the starter kit is without a doubt the best out there. There's no doubt about it, especially for the price, the value. And the second one, though, that's even more refined, if you want to do it later or even first, is the mind and mood neurotransmitter test. You can find those at stephencabral.com/labs. And again, you can always run them outside of our practice. You don't have to do them with us. But that will be very, very helpful. And then what you'll do is, I just did a podcast on the dopamine diet. Is the dopamine diet right for you? Well, it might be right for you, right? It might be. And you probably want to do a clean slate, a reset, doing a 21-day functional medicine detox. Then moving more towards making sure you get enough foods that help to promote dopamine. And then, yes, there are actual nutrients that help to produce more dopamine in the body. I did a couple of podcasts on those as well. I don't have those off the top of my head, but I did one many, many years back on the missing neurotransmitter, it was called. And you can ask that at cabralsupportgroup.com. They'll help you find that podcast. Certain herbs you could use, I think it's called mucuna purine, something like that. Purina is one. I don't recommend the precursor to it, but L-tyrosine can be fine. But again, I don't recommend diving into those neurotransmitter precursors without doing everything else first. I find them to be unnecessary most of the time, but in the short term, they could give you a boost as long as you're working with a practitioner. All right, thanks for the question. Lindsay's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I've met, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, anonymous. Morning exercise, and I don't recommend cold therapy for everyone, but people with depression, cold therapy, so cold shower in the morning, exercise in the morning. Life-changing. Life-changing if you have depression. Absolutely life-changing. Exercise, cold. All right, Lindsay's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I've read many opinions that deli meat, processed meat, is bad for you, but I love sliced turkey. Is it still bad? It's hormone-free, nitrate-free, and antibiotic-free. What are the reasons it's still unhealthy? Okay, well, there are some deli meats that are not used with preservatives, meaning like a deli meat with preservatives will allow it to hang out that case for like a month. Like it's gonna be a while. Regular meat will actually go bad if it is not used with preservatives. So how do they get it to stay a little bit longer? Typically salt. So if your deli meat is like literally salt and it's the meat itself, and the salt is usually with the water, so it's like a brine, then not as bad. Okay, so again, like I like to stay unbiased. Is it as healthy as fresh, sliced turkey, like literally fresh, just cooked, sliced? No. But is it bad for you? Well, if you take out the nitrates and nitrates, and you take out the they're not going to feed this. That's recombinant bovine growth hormone is typically for cattle. Typically not going to do that with turkeys, but they can certainly use antibiotics on a farm, or they can use estrogen to help them grow a little bit larger. They can do other things like that. So if it's a healthy bird, then, and there's no preservatives used, then it's not, I wouldn't say that it's unhealthy. What I would say is I don't think that I would be eating that every day, but once or twice a week, no preservatives, clean animal, maybe not bad for you. All right? Yeah, I mean, like, because I just don't know the type that you're using, so I can't say, hey, this is an organic, free range, pasture raised turkey. Like, I just don't know, but it could be a healthy option for you. All right, so I'm going to keep it at that. Anonymous is up next. Hi, Doc. I'm so grateful for you and your team's work. You are my biggest inspiration and a person I look up to. Thank you, Anonymous. I appreciate that. My question of the day: my local store is a super convenient solution for lemon juice. The product is organic pressed lemon juice. It's stored in a small, dark green bottle. Ingredients are 100% organic lemon juice. What's your opinion about a product like this? Have a good day. All right. Thank you, Anonymous. So obviously far more convenient, right? So much more convenient than having to cut a lemon in half and use a lemon press and squeeze it into your water. Not that difficult to do that, right? But this is much more convenient. All right, so here's what you want to look for. It has to be a glass bottle. Lemon juice is very acidic. So, and now you might say, well, no, it's alkaline. Well, yeah, after it's processed through my buddy's stomach here and it moves into the body, it has lots of minerals. All right, so it's alkaline, processing in the body, right? But it's acidic. And I'm saying that's not a bad thing because it's not going to grow mold. It's a natural preservative. Lemon juice is a natural preservative. It's so acidic that it can actually cook foods just by putting lemon juice on it and letting it hang out. So here's the thing though. So, okay, that's okay, but you don't want it in a plastic bottle because in a plastic bottle, it could eat away at the sides as well with that low pH. So what you want is it in glass, and you want it in dark glass. Okay, so it doesn't oxidize, but it's going to oxidize anyway, even though there's a lot of antioxidants, a little bit of oxidation once it's been squeezed. Okay, so we got that. The last part is this, though. It's missing all the enzymes. The enzymes don't live for that long after a lemon has been cut and squeezed. So, or if it's organic and it's in a glass bottle and it's a dark bottle, you're good. What's the one thing you're missing? You're missing the enzymes. The enzymes in fresh lemon do actually help quite a bit. So outside of cooking, all right, no big deal. You're cooking it anyways. You're going to destroy the enzymes. Okay, you could use it for cooking. But if you're looking for all of the benefits of citrus or lemon especially, you actually want fresh lemon or fresh lime. You really do. It makes a difference. I know it's not as convenient, but it makes a difference to have those natural enzymes. You squeeze it in water, add a pinch of sea salt if you want. You have your own homemade lemonade. You might even put in a little bit of Manuka honey or raw raw wildflower honey. And you have your own natural lemonade, which we'll make sometimes for our daughters. And you get all the enzymes in that as well, which is great for stomach, liver, etc. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. Richard's up next. Hello, Dr. Brawl. Thank you for all you do. Very grateful that you take the time to answer all of our questions. Thanks, Richard. For as long as I can remember, I've only been able to breathe through one nostril at a time. Most of the air comes in and out through the dominant nostril, while only very little goes through the other one. For the longest time, I thought I had a deviated septum or some other issue. I did some research on this and found out about something called the nasal cycle. Apparently, it's a normal process and was discovered by Dr. Richard Kaiser in 1895. It seems like about 70 to 80% of adults experience a regular nasal cycle in which one will do 75% of the breathing from the dominant nostril and 25% from the other. The dominant nostril switches about every 90 minutes via tissue that is in the upper part of the nostril, which swells up or shrinks. There are lots of reasons stated for this, why the natural phenomenon occurs, but in order to keep this shorter, I won't list all the reasons. I've asked lots of people about this, and it's pretty much split on whether they experience this or not. I would love to hear your opinion and thoughts on this. Thanks very much for your time. All right, Richard, this is very interesting. So I know for sure I breathe through both of my nostrils at the same time, but I do have a deviated septum on my right side, so not as much oxygen or air flows in. So this is interesting because I've looked quite a bit into alternate nostril breathing, which is an actual yoga or yogic or Vedic-based act to balance sympathetic nervous system stress and parasympathetic nervous system-based healing. So it is possible, again, based on this, that the body is actually doing that on its own. It is possible that the body may be shifting more towards sympathetic nervous system dominance or parasympathetic nervous system dominance based on breathing in more through the left nostril or the right nostril. I don't know. I really don't. So I always tell you when I don't know. I've never heard that the body will naturally close one nostril a little bit more and open the other one. And then 90 minutes or so later, do the reverse. Never heard about that. Super interesting to me. I'm certainly going to look it up. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. But no, I don't know about it. I don't know if it's normal. I don't know if it's healthy. But maybe it is a natural process. Maybe, right? And then I would also suggest to you, if you haven't already done it, you probably have because you've gone this deep, look into alternate nostril breathing because that may actually help you retrain the nervous system and begin to be able to breathe. Maybe it's more natural to breathe through both nostrils at the same time. So something to look at. All right. Thanks, Richard. Hunter is up next. And last question of the day. Hunter says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I would like to say thank you for all you do and your vast, ever-growing knowledge in the health world. I first found you on Ben Pakulski's podcast in 2018, and it changed my life. I recently graduated the Level 1 IHP course and owe you endless gratitude for giving people like myself a chance to learn more about health, forge a new career path, and importantly, spread the message of health to my family and many others. You're an inspiration and my mentor, sir." Thank you, Hunter. I deeply appreciate that. That's what IHP and the Integrative Health Practitioner Health Coach Certification is all about. So I appreciate you. Thank you. It says, "I'm a 43-year-old male that works out 4 to 5 days a week. I get in my 10,000 steps, a smoothie in the morning, a salad at lunch, sardines, salmon, and broccoli for my post-workout meal. Job hours are 6 a.m. to 4 p.m., and I work out 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. My question is, what should I do as far as my restoring my glycogen stores? I've been trying to stay away from rice due to the arsenic that's in it. Should I stick with sweet potatoes instead? I go to bed no later than 8:30 p.m., and I'm done eating my post-workout meal no later than 6:15. Should I do solid foods earlier in the day and just have another smoothie post-workout and some sweet potatoes for the carbs since it's easy pre-digested? Again, thank you dearly for how much you've helped me. P.S. You and Pakulski should do another podcast to talk new health data." Yeah, thank you, Hunter. And hopefully, I mean, Ben's an amazing guy. I mean, I really do. I think he's great. And so hopefully, yeah, we do connect again. Okay, so it seems like you've got a lot of great things going on. You want to restore glycogen stores after your workout. So there's a few things you could do. If you're not looking to lose weight, you could do a peri-workout smoothie, like drink a smoothie during the workout, which has easy to digest protein and fruit in it to restore glycogen stores while going through it. But if you want some of that fat loss and keeping blood sugar low or low normal during your workout, okay, yeah, you wait till after your workout. A couple things you could do. One is you could do the sweet potatoes, yams, yuca, purple potatoes, like any of those are great. So no doubt about it, you could definitely do those. Okay. The next thing you could do is after your workout, you could have some fruit. The same amount of macros and fruit that you would get from sweet potatoes. So maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like a cup of berries or it's berries and a banana, whatever you want to do, right? Like that's up to you. And then your dinner could then just be vegetables and a protein because you just got your post-workout carbs with your fruit. So there's multiple ways to do it. Fruit takes about a half hour. It's very quick to digest fruit for the most part. And so then you would just have you could eat that on the way home from the gym if you wanted to, and that would be okay. And it's really based on body transformation goals for timing. I've done a bunch of podcasts on timing your smoothies. Like, don't do a smoothie before the workout. If you want weight loss, do it before the workout. If you don't want weight loss, like I have all sorts of different timing for your carbs and all that on previous training Thursdays. If you ever can't find one, you can just ask at cabralsupportgroup.com. Okay, so You've got your fruit and then just veggies and protein later. And that's great for food combining as well. Or you can do your sweet potatoes or yams or yuca with your protein. Or yes, you could absolutely do a bigger meal midday. That would be like your dinner. And then an easier to digest smoothie that you drink over the course of an hour from like, let's say 5 o'clock when you get out of your workout till 6 o'clock. Or maybe it's like 5:15 to 6:15 and then you're done. And that's easy to digest. What I would do is actually base it based on your biometrics data from a health. And I just did a podcast on this. So obviously you wrote in at the very end of May, but I did a podcast on the best time of the day to start a fast. And you'll see, you'll be able to track this. If you have a Oura Ring or Whoop strap or BioStrap, you'll be able to look at your HRV, deep sleep, REM, temperature, heart rate by what works better for you. A bigger meal midday, smoothie after your workout, or your meal. You'll be able to figure it out based on how your recovery is overnight. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. Really great questions today. You're all amazing. I appreciate you. And I'll be back tomorrow on a brand new Cabral concept. It will be our Mindset and Motivation Mondays. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check out tomorrow's show. All right. Take care, everybody. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my health results accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.